So today we're going to start with a problem that is familiar to all of you. It says, what percent of 20 is 14? So we're going to start by using the percent proportion to solve this problem. I'm going to go ahead and do line equals sign line. And I remember that of 20 prompts me to put the 20 here in the denominator. Is 14 is, that's going to go here. And I know that 100 always goes here. And what percent means, I don't know what percent. So I need to put a variable. So now that I have my proportion set up, I'm going to do some cross multiplication, because that is going to help me isolate p. So 14 times 100 is 1400, and 20 times p is 20p. So now, pretty good so far, but I don't quite have p on its own yet. So I have 20, this is 20 times p. So I need to undo this. So the opposite of multiplication is division. I'm going to multiply both by 20, because what I do to one side of the equation, I have to do the other. I'm going to cancel out the 20 on this side, get p on its own. 1400 divided by 20, I know is going to be, just showing my work for fun, 70. So the answer is 70%. What percent of 20 is 14? Okay, that makes sense. 14 is 70% of 20. Let me say that one more time. 14 is 70% of 20. Pretty good job. I would say that was pretty easy.
That was easy.
Okay, so today we're actually going to do this very same problem, but I'm going to teach you how to do it in a completely different way. Actually, it's not completely different, but we'll say it's just different. We are going to use the percent equation. Okay, the percent equation, where is it? Okay, there it is. Woo. Okay, the percent equation is A equals P percent, or percent, times base. Okay, I'm going to say that again. A equals percent times base. It is a multiplication equation, and it can be very useful. A would represent the part of the base, and B represents the base. So that's pretty easy. B stands for base. Now, the part of the base, when we were doing problems like is over of, the A is what's prompted by the is, and the base is prompted by of. So we want to pay attention to that. So we're going to do this very same problem. I'm going to write it down over again just to prove to you that it works. So what percent of 20 is 14? Okay, so we already know the answer is 70, but this way we're going to use a different process. So did you guys see it's the same? What percent of 20 is? Okay, we're good. I'm going to move it up. Now the first step is to write the equation. So A equals P percent times base. Okay, so of 20 would be the base, and is 14 is the A. So I have to plug and chug. So A is the part of the base, or the is, so that's going to go here. We're going to say we don't have a percent, so we're just going to put P here, times of, or the B, 20. Now P times 20 is 20P, and that's going to still be 14. Okay, so I didn't do much here. I just sort of rearranged it. Now I need to get P by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides by 20, because 20 is the coefficient of P. And then I cancel out, and I get 14 over 20 equals P. Now, I happen to know that I can reduce 14 over 20 by 2. I'm going to go 2 divided by 2. Or actually, I should do it this way. Divided by 2, because and 14 divided by 2 is 7. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So I get 7/10. Who thinks I'm done? Because I'm not done. So 7/10 is equal to 0.7, okay? And 0.70 What percent is 0.7? It is 70%. Oh, yeah.
That was easy.
I love my new button. Can you tell? Okay, let's go ahead and do some other problems with this percent equation. What number of 110 is 20%? All right, so this time we're looking for what number. Okay, so we've got of 110 is 20%. Okay, now here the most important thing to pay attention is the 20%. Okay, so A equals P percent times B. Okay, so I don't know. I don't have an A because this is the of 110 and this is 20%. So I'm going to go A equals 20% times 110. Okay, so here's the thing. I can't multiply 20% as is. I always have to change my percents to decimals or fractions if I want to multiply them to other numbers. You can't just leave it as 20. So I'm going to change 20% to a decimal. So 0.2 times 110. Okay, and then 110 times 0.2, 220, My answer is 22. So 22 is 20% of 110. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does make sense. I think that is a reasonable answer.
That was easy. That was easy.
Aw, man, it doesn't work like my other things. Okay, let's do another problem. What number is 40% of 150? Okay, so again, write down that equation. A equals P percent times B. Okay, so we got 40% of 150. So the A gets left alone. Plug in the 40%. Plug in the of 150 times 150. We can't just do a raw 40%. We have to change that to a decimal. So 40% as a decimal is 0.40 times 150. I'm going to do my work over here. This is not a decimal. This is the multiplication sign. 0.40000026000612. The answer is A equals 60. So once again, does that make sense? Let's see here. We would be saying that 60 is 40% of 150. Let's see. Does that make sense? Well, let's see. 150 divided in half would be 75. And that's 40% is less than half. 60 is less than half. So yeah, I think this is a reasonable answer. Cool. Okay, let's go ahead and do another one. 117 is 45% of what number? Okay, let's see. First step, write down equation times 150. No, oopsies. That was a big error. Let's rewrite that. I was ahead of myself. A equals P percent times B. Okay. 117 is 45% of what number? So, we don't know this time. We know what we know 45%. We know that 117 is. That prompts me to put it there. Of what number? That means that B has to stay a variable. We don't know what that is. So we're going to put 117 here. We're going to put 45% times B. Now, okay, just like last time, we're going to change 45% to a decimal. And I'm going to make this B. So it's 0.45 times B. It's basically the same. It's the same as 0.45 times B, but I'm just making it algebraically friendly. So to get B by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 0.45, 0.45. Did I do this problem already? So let's do the math here. 117 divided by 0.45. Okay, so here is my long division. So I got to first of all move this over 2 times. So 1, 2. So it's going to go into, so 45 into 117 is 2 times. That is 90. 27. 45 goes into 270. 270, I believe 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. Yes, 270. 0. Bring down another 0. 45 into 0 is 0. So, and then that would go into 0. My work is getting kind of squished. So the answer is 260 equals B. 260. Let's see if that makes sense. 117 is 45% of 260. Well, 260 is 130. Half of 260 is 130. 45% is a little bit less than 50%. That actually makes sense because 117 is a little bit less than 130. So I am going to stand with this answer. Okay, let's do this one. 130 is 65% of what number? Last problem of the night. P% times B. So 130 is, that's going to go here, 65% times B. I'm going to convert this into a decimal and let this be over here, 130. Now I have to solve for B. Side work. 65 and a 130, I believe. Ooh, perfect, 2. The answer is 200. So 130 is, yes, that would make sense because 130 is 65% of 200. The answer would just be 200, but I just like to see if it makes sense. Okay, I think that makes sense because 65% is greater than 50%, and half would be 100. There, and this is over 100. This is over 50% of half. So yeah, it makes perfect sense. All right, guys, thanks for doing these problems with me tonight. I hope you have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.